I have to ask my missus what she liked for Christmas. She wouldn't be with us. I never know what to buy her, you know. And I did ask her the other day. She said, "I'd make it easy for you." She said, "Just get us something small." I said, "Oh, I get something small." She said, "No." She said, "I've seen it in the Asda." I said, "The Asda?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "What is it?" She said, "Well, all my mates have got a pair and I've never had a pair. I'd like a pair." I said, "A pair of what?" She said, "A pair of Christmas novelty knickers." She said, "It's only a little thing, you know, Christmas novelty knickers." She said, "It's easy to buy, it'll be in the Asda." I said, "Well, I don't want to get the wrong ones. What do they look like?" She said, "Well, they're red with white round the outside. And on the front they say Merry Christmas, and on the back they say Happy New Year." Oh, I said, "That's all right, I can't miss them, I'll get them." She said, "What would you like?" I said, "Well, anything between Christmas and New Year would be nice, but..." So, we're in school and the teacher sets the homework on Friday for over the weekend. And the teacher says to the boys and girls in the class, "Now boys and girls, at the weekend I'd like you to try the homework if you can. Just write a sentence describing what you've done with the family over the weekend, and just try and use one word in the sentence. One of the words in the sentence can be fascinate. If you can do that, use the word fascinate in the sentence, describing what you've done with the family." So Monday comes and she says to the class, "Boys and girls, does anyone have a go at the homework at the weekend? Did you write a sentence describing what you've done with the family?" You know, and using the word fascinate. I did ask that on Friday. And little Daisy at the front, she says, "Yeah, I've done it, miss, I've done the homework." She said, "Well done, Daisy. Stand up and tell the class." And Daisy stands up and says, "At the weekend, I went to the circus with my family. I seen the trapeze artists and the clowns, and I was fascinated." The teacher said, "Well, you've done very well. You've used the word fascinated." She said, "But I did ask you for the word fascinate." She said, "But it's a good effort, it's a good try, Daisy." She said, "Anyone else done the homework?" So the little girl on the other side, Molly, she said, "I've done it, miss." She said, "Molly, stand up and tell the class your sentence." "Well done." Molly stands up and says, "At the weekend, miss, I went to the zoo with my family. I seen lions and tigers and monkeys, and I was fascinated." Oh, she said, "You've done the same. You've used the word fascinated, but it's a good try. Has anyone done the homework and managed to use the word fascinate?" And little Johnny at the back, he's got his hand up. "Me, miss, I've done homework." She said, "Not you, Johnny. I'm not asking you. You're always rude. I'm not asking you." He said, "But miss, I've done the homework." She said, Have you used the word fascinate, Johnny?" And he said, "Yes. Yes." So she said, "Well, go on then, Johnny. Stand up and tell the class and don't be rude." He said, "At the weekend, my Auntie Cathy bought a coat with 10 buttons on. But she's got big tits, she can only fascinate." It's the story of two snakes hissing in the pit. There was two snakes hissing in the pit. And the mother snake said, "Hey, snakes, don't be hissing in the pit." She said, "I'm going to the shops now." She said, "No, if you feel like hissing in the pit while I'm at the shops," she said, "don't be hissing in our pit." She said, "Go down to Mrs. Potts' pit and hiss in her pit." The mother snake went to the shops. Little snake said, "The good little snakes," she said, "we're not to be hissing in the pit." You know what mother snake said? "You've got to go down to Mrs. Potts' pit." So off they went down to Mrs. Potts' pit. Like snakes do. Are you ready? And here they are at Mrs. Potts' pit. Listen. And Mrs. Potts come back from the shops and she said, "What do you think you're doing in my pit?" She said, "Don't be hissing in my pit." She said, "Get out your own pit and hiss in that pit." So the good old snakes, and off they went back to their own pit, like snakes do. Are you ready? had their own pit. Where are you? There they had their own pit. The mother snake comes back from the shop. She said, "Have you been good, little snakes? Did you do as you were told?" The little snake says, "Yes, mother snake. We went down to Mrs. Potts' pit." Oh, she said, "Did you?" She said, "What did Mrs. Potts do?" She said, "Mrs. Potts said, don't be hissing in our pit. In my pit, get down to your own pit and hiss in that pit." And the mother snake said, "Did she now? Did she? That Mrs. Potts." She said, "I knew her when she didn't have a pit to hiss in." Thank you very much. Thanks very much. See you soon. Thanks, Dan. Let's play on this one.